with this 0P. Let's make something, but now that we make something, we're going to take, there was no market leader because there was only one product on the market. We're going to take the 0P and we're going to fix its problems. Instead of 4 screws, we're going to put 2 screws in. Now that we have 2 screws, we can make the screws larger diameter. And what we're going to do is then market to people, that means lie to people, and say that each one of our screws is stronger than each one of the 0P screws. Well, they are because they're bigger. But at the same time, 0P had 4 screws. And the problem with 0P wasn't the strength of the screws, is that the screws were not lag screws. So they realized you need lag screws that compress the bone down onto the plate. And we talked about this, and I'm going to go over this again. If you want to know what a lag screw is, go to Home Depot and take any wood screw. And then when I was a kid, I was wondering why this screw that has a Phillip head here had a smooth neck, and then the threads were here. And the reason was this part was exactly 1.5 inches, and the other part was whatever it was, over 1 inch, so that you could put a 2x4. And by that, I mean, this is your 2x4, which is actually 1.5 inches. And the reason it's called a 2x4 is that's how far you place the saw blades to cut it. And this 2x4 gets compressed against this other piece of wood. So if you ever screw 2 pieces of wood, you'll see there's a little gap here. Once you tighten this, the screw pulls this wood and compresses it against this wood, and that provides greater stability. And that's exactly what you want to happen between the end plate of the implant and your end plate of the implant and the end plate of the bone. You need compression there because compression limits motion. And we learned from hip replacements that if your stem is pistoning within the bone, there's motion, that stem becomes loose over time. If there is no motion between the implant and the end plate, bone grows in very quickly. How quickly? 4 to 6 weeks. And if there's motion, it's fibrous on growth and all sorts of problems. So what Globus did is took the problems with the 0P and solved them. It said instead of 4 screws, we're going with 2 screws. Okay, and then these screws are hard to put in. They told the engineers, just make the screws easy to put in. And the engineers said, okay, what makes it easier?
Is that what they said, ease of use?
Ease of use. There you go.
Ad nauseum?
Is to make the angle less. What they did is they brought the angle down so they were easier to put them in. And they also have these shims, which are, by the way, not FDA approved, the standalone technology. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But those were really, you just banged them in and you didn't have to have a whole lot of exposure.
If they don't fracture on you.
Or if they get a non-union, then you tell the patient says, doc, you used a non-FDA approved. It's like, no, it's FDA approved. It's like not FDA approved as a standalone. And what's ironic is...
They have a bailout option, though, that ROIC never had, right?
Yeah, they do. And then what's ironic is another company built a standalone with shims, and the shims, just so you know, you bang them in and they go up in there. So the standalone company that has shims has exactly like not even decimal space market share. So it's a product that has shims that you bang in there and it's super easy to put in. And they built it with a little plate in the front so you can even use the plate code. So they looked at the same problem and said, oh, standalones, people want shims for ease of use and they're losing the plate code. Let me make an implant where the shims are FDA approved, a right word for it is FDA 510 cleared. It's not FDA approved. That's a class 3 device is FDA approved. But 510 cleared shims and a plate that's built into it, that you attach to it, and it's 510 clear, it's easy to use, and you get your plate code. And you know exactly how much market share they got for this? They got like 0.2% market share. Okay, so it did nothing. And it has nothing to do with the quality of the product. Because, I mean, I have not used it. Seems reasonable. It addressed all these problems. Why is it doesn't have any sales? people look at it, it's just not having the raw. So that's where you guys, so at the end of the day, the only people making money for the company are you guys. Like, right? So that's the thing that no one gives credit to the sales team for. Okay? So no, it's true. So you know, the reason our engineer has a Dodge Charger, you know, 6.5 liter 392 or whatever the heck, is because of the sales team, right? And so from their standpoint, the rest of the company, so, and it's, everybody overestimates their importance. And that's why I say the regulatory guys, like, without me, I don't have, you don't have FDA approval. The chief commercialization officer, like, without me, you don't have a supply chain or inventory. And it's like, okay. And then, but the sales guys, like, without me, you got no money. So the important thing for you to realize, it's not about the fact that the product works well. So our product works tremendously better than our competition. Okay, we need to translate that into sales.